Okay, so for this question, we're dealing with forces but in vector form, which doesn't make it that much different, to be honest. There's just one thing you need to do is also find the resultant force. Not that I spelled it right. There we go. Okay, so for most of these it will be that you need to find the resultant force first. Now if you couldn't remember how to do it, what you do is you just add the vectors together. Okay, so I'm just going to read through and I'm going to quickly highlight the bits that are important. So we're dealing with a boat, not that that's particularly important, but it is important that we know the mass. That is 60 kilograms. Okay, it's been acted upon the three forces, which are the ones that are here. So all of these three are going to be important. Okay, given that the boat is accelerating and it's accelerating at this vector, that's going to be helpful. We need to find the values of P and Q. So if you look in the middle one, so the second force, it's got P and Q in there rather than having just numbers. So that's what we need to find. So we're going to start off with finding the resultant force. So to do that, we're just going to add F1, F2 and F3 together like that. Okay, so F1 is 80 and 50. I'm not going to add the newtons in at the moment. We obviously know it's newtons because it's all the same for all of them. Next one, 10p and 20q and minus 75 and 100. So with vectors, you just add all the tops together. So that's going to be 10p plus 5. And on the bottom, 20q plus 150. So we're also going to be using F equals ma, so that's a formula we've been using quite a lot at the moment. So the F is our resultant force. Resultant force. Okay, so that's the only force that's now, because we've added them up, it's just the only force that's now acting on the particle. The mass obviously is the 60 kilograms. Okay, and we know the acceleration because it's the bit here, so that's acceleration. Okay, so we're just going to put the numbers in. I'm going to leave them in vector form. So for the force, we've got 10p plus 5 and 20q plus 150. So that's just come from the resultant answer that I've got here. Then we've got the mass, which is 60 multiplied with the acceleration, which is 0.8 and minus 1.5. Okay, so one thing I'm going to quickly do is just multiply both of these by the 60. Okay, so I'm going to leave the left hand side as it is for a moment. Okay, so 60 times that, I'm pretty sure it's 480, no, 48. Yep. And minus 90. Double check. Yeah. Okay. So that means that both the tops must be equal to each other and both the bottoms will be equal to each other. So I'm going to start with the first one. So 10p plus 5 is equal to 48. And we just solve it like a normal equation. So that means 10p must be 43. And p must then be 4.3. So that's the first answer done. And then for this bottom one, so 20q plus 150 is minus 90. So 20q must be minus 240. So q must be a minus 12, and that's the second answer.